Today, on episode 46 of It Would Seem As Though, we are talking about food. Good food, bad food, comfort food, just all the food. Why? Because we like food. Duh. So sit back and enjoy another episode of It Would Seem As Though.
It would seem as though.
Hi, it's me.
It would seem as though we are here for episode number 46 of It Would Seem As Though, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Again, usually, always, mostly nothing.
Yeah, I'm Vesta.
I'm Annika, mostly, today. I'm done with finals, so now I'm like Relifica. Do you know
So
what I
now
mean?
you're also almost graduated. I can't
Girl,
do it.
I have like 10 months.
10 months.
10 months.
Until you have two majors?
2 degrees. Majors is when you're studying.
Oh, 2 degrees,
is when
right.
you're graduating.
So you'll have 2 degrees.
And
one is in infant study.
infant studies.
One
and
is
the other
in-
one is in evangelical studies.
Right, the
Yes,
other one
ma'am.
is in coffee.
And the other one is in
What-
sass
so-
and shit talking.
I know you've told me a million times, but what are your two?
So one of the degrees, my primary degree is a Bachelor of Arts in Women and Gender Studies.
Okay.
My second degree is a Bachelor of Science in Sociology. So I will just know all about society at that point.
So you'll be Dr. Annika.
No, not exactly. But what's interesting is that I'm also a part of this research project, which is about a year long. And I do like independent research for actual published research. And so I will have published research by the time I graduate too. At least one white paper will be published. I might have more than that. But that's crazy to me to be graduating with 2 degrees and already have published research. Published research is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And so that's really exciting. So when I was telling someone about it, they're like, oh, so it's just like you have a master's degree. And I said, okay.
We'll go with that.
We'll say that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
She educated. But girl, I'm going to tell you, I am very happy to be done. Your girl's been feeling like an unmotivated baby. And so
No, I get that
these
too.
last 3 weeks have been painful. You know, I'm like an overachieving procrastinator. So
I know, and that is such an interesting kind of combination.
I know.
I am only one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is
Well-
just a procrastinator. I've never been an overachiever. And it's funny because not being an overachiever, I've always felt like that meant that I was lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I don't strive to any great heights because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have achieved most of the things I set out in my life to achieve.
Yeah.
As a little kid, when people said, what do you want to be? And I was always like, well, first thing I always said is I want to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, for what? I don't know.
Don't talk to me about that.
Right, let's,
Don't bog me down with details.
right, I hate that. And then I would say, and I want to be a hairdresser and a wife and a mother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Check.
Check. So famous, yeah, I'm locally.
Yeah,
People know who
totally.
I am.
Absolutely.
Did my own show for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
And now we're doing the pod, which is listened to by tens of people.
Uh-huh.
And so tens of people know who we are.
So famous.
And that's all right.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, I'm raising children and doing my thing and really slowing down in life more than speeding up because I'm 60, for Christ's
bitch.
sake. And so, yeah, it's time for me
Girl,
to...
listen, you've already checked all the boxes, right? And you're slowing down. I want to be slowing down. Do you know what I mean? I'm 33 and I'm like, can I stop?
You're like, can I retire? I'm
honestly.
going to get my degrees and then I'm retiring.
Really, people ask me, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, after I graduate, what I want to do is go into a nice coma, girl, just for 1 year. I just need a long nap. You know, and people, it's funny because...
I'm going to move to a retirement community where I can just
girl.
rest.
They're going to be like, you're too young here. I'm like, no, my lifestyle is right up this alley.
Girl, it has worn me clean out.
Well, and people always, people think that, oh, we can go take a nap. That'll help you feel. And like, sure, resting, actual physical sleep is good for my body. But girl, child, my mind, my body, my soul, exhausted. I was telling Astra the other day, I was like, don't you sometimes wish, this the other day, months ago, don't you wish that sometimes you could just like remove your soul or your essence or like your inner being and just let her take a nap for a minute while your physical body goes and does? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, I literally feel like that all the fucking time. Like, I'm so worn out and emotionally exhausted by everything, but I just wish I could remove that part of me and let her take a nap.
Yeah. I was watching, we just got Apple TV. And so I was watching, because last week when we were at the Thanksgiving at the cousin's house, they were like, you need to get Apple TV and you need to watch all these things.
Indigenous People Appreciation Day is what it was.
Okay. But they were like, you need to get Apple TV so you can watch all these things. And they were giving me the list of all the things I need to watch. And one of them is Severance.
And Ted Lasso.
And I haven't watched it yet, but I watched the preview. And the whole idea behind it is your work self and your home self don't know each other. So anything you do at work, you don't remember when you get home. And all the things you do in your home life, you don't remember at work. So they're completely 100% separate.
Oh.
And there's more to it, and it's kind of mystery thriller kind of thing. Sure. So, but I haven't watched it, but I was like, wouldn't part of that be lovely if you really could just shut it all off?
Sure.
I want a switch where I can go, can I shut off these years? There are a whole lot of people I'd love to forget. Yeah. Most of them I was married to. Yeah. You know, it's just like, can we just shut that off?
Here's what I'm going to say to that. I know we're talking about it's very lighthearted, but I'm going to say something. If you never knew the shit you went through, you wouldn't know how to be happy now. Like,
well,
if
I know.
If you've never seen darkness, you don't know what light is. If you've never felt hate, you can't feel love, because they're opposites, right?
Right.
And so
you're so deep.
I know, girl. But if you never went through all that bullshit, you would probably still be making mistakes. You wouldn't have a 20-year marriage.
I know, as opposed to not making any mistakes now.
But I mean, major mistakes. Bitch. Dating.
Major mistakes was my first husband.
I know.
He was in the military.
Your first. Your second.
Major mistakes.
Your third.
Oh,
girl,
yeah.
Pick any partner.
No, my third husband is a good guy.
Okay, other than
speaking of my third husband, we got an email from my third husband. My third husband twice removed. What was funny is the title of this email is "You shamed me into writing." I'm like, I shamed? How would I shame anybody?
Hold up, wait, who is this?
My husband.
Oh, this husband.
I was like, I've only been married to 3 men.
I know, but I'm so confused.
I said, my third husband. That would be the one I'm married to now. And so it says, yes, I do listen. I'm currently on episode 30 from August 10th. Catch up, dude.
Yeah.
We're on episode
You
46.
live here.
Do you even go here?
God, I thought you loved us.
You shamed me on national podcasting apps. I'm not sure how we shamed you.
What did we do?
I don't know. How dare you? I listen most mornings as I'm taking care of cremations in the morning. So it's slow going.
Oh.
Well, I see. But I do listen. I laugh. I shake my head. I'm sure he does. I laugh some more. You both are amazing, and I love and adore you so much. The magnetism, education, and laughter you share never ceases to amaze me. I love you, Sweet Pea and Princess. Mr. Papa Man, MRT.
That's you. I love that. I love you wrote it.
I still am going to have to ask him about the shaming thing.
I know.
I don't feel like we shame anybody.
So he's on episode 30, and somehow we've already shamed him by this point?
I know. We probably should have shamed him sooner, I guess.
I guess.
So he'd get on the ball.
I mean, I do shame a lot of people.
Shame. Yeah, no, we don't. We're good people. We're good, solid. No?
No, I genuinely, people do dumb shit, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
My good friend the other day, he's going through it, and I literally just read him for filth yesterday, because I'm like, you're feeling this type of way? Here's what you should do. Make better fucking choices. How about you go to therapy? How about you go find a doctor? Like, I'm popping off at this boy, like, grow up.
You're
grow
mean.
The fuck up. Well, I know, but
you're like, I know.
Someone's got to
I am mean. What?
Look, I'm real, okay?
Oh, God. I hate that when people say, I'm just being real as an excuse to be an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I do think I am very real, but I also think that I'm never going to be like a cunt to you. The C word. I don't know. And
that cat's out the bag now. Oh my God, she said the C word. By the way, just for anybody who doesn't know us, we happen to love that word.
Oh.
We banty it about like it's, Kool-Aid. We don't care.
No, it's like we say, hey babe, hey cunt, hi sweetie. Hey,
yeah.
Listen, and also if you heard us speak to each other in person, it might be shock and awe, because we're not necessarily kind usually. No. I think we're fine, but I also think that our love language is shit talking to each other.
Yeah,
that's how I communicate. Get over it. But yeah,
well, like yesterday when the exterminator was here, and I sent you a text message that said, "I'm sending the exterminator to your house because you bugging,
bitch." And then I was like, wait. initially I was like, do I actually have bugs here? Am I the problem? Am I the villain?
Am I the drama?
Honestly. But then it was like, oh, bitch.
Oh, she's just sending me love.
Oh, she's just being a nasty bitch.
Yeah, and it's all love.
Yeah, of course.
It's just all
100%.
love. Speaking of love, my problem, and there are many.
You know what your problem is?
Do you know what your problem is? One of my problems is that I have somehow always equated food with love.
Okay,
Yeah. Which explains, how I became the voluptuous girl that I am. Because she liked to eat. But today, last week we talked about food.
We talked about it for 5 fucking
We
minutes.
talked about it. Well, we actually talked about like the last third of our show.
Okay.
But we mostly ended up talking about what we don't like.
Yeah.
And
I'm good at that.
Didn't spend a lot of time talking about what we do like and whatever. But
yeah.
I looked up some interesting food facts just for fun. But also, we're just going to talk about food in our life and its impact and kind of how it has impacted us in different ways and whatever, and comfort food and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm about it.
Well, because the whole theory for, I guess, healthy people who eat right is food is fuel. It's nothing more. Food is not comfort. Food is not your friend. Food is not therapy.
I think here's what I'm going to say. And sure, some of those things are probably good things for certain people, right? Yeah. If it helps you, fine. I think that people put too many rules on things that don't necessarily have rules. You know what I mean? Like when you should eat, what you should eat. You shouldn't have comfort food. You should only eat these. And then there's diet after diet. Diets remind me of skincare. Do you know what I mean? There's a million different fucking diets. Yeah. And then there's a million different ways you can do skincare. And people are like, but this is the right way. Like keto versus Atkins versus blah, blah, blah versus Slim Fast versus blah. You know what I mean? All of the things that are just, it's too much, Bob.
Well, and I've probably been on just about every diet there is. And I've succeeded on many of them and then failed when I went off them because none of them really set you up for real life. Yeah. And so I'm at a point in my life where, yes, I need to lose weight just for my health.
Sure.
But I'm so fucking tired of even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of thinking, should I eat this? Should I not eat this? Should I measure this? Should I have a bite of this? Should I not? Yeah. Should I stay away from it? Should I forbid myself? All of the things, because I've been going through this my entire life. Mm-hmm. The first time I was put on a diet, I was 10 years old, for Christ's sakes. And yeah, I was a fat kid. I was put on a diet and forced to do Weight Watchers at 10 years old. I'm sorry, but really all that tells you is, you're not good enough.
Right.
And then being in a huge family, watching all of my siblings eat what the normal dinner was, food, the normal dessert and the normal whatever. And here I am with a bowl of cottage cheese and, a piece of fruit. And I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And what it really did is it made me feel like I was being left out. And it was like, I'm being deprived. Everybody else is eating good shit and I'm over here. Now, don't get me wrong. I love cottage cheese.
Yeah.
I eat it almost every day.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's very exclusionary.
I would also like to eat, pie and...
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, too, is, that's the thing about when people go on a diet, and the whole, body positivity, not that necessarily, but, diet culture and, gym culture and getting fit constantly, it's fine, but there's this whole dichotomy of, us versus them, and, a lot of people who become very wrapped up in their diets or their exercise or whatever it is, become then, they have to give their PSA about how they feel about fat bodies.
Right, they proselytize to everyone.
Right, and I said, bitch, you're boring. You made your entire fucking personality getting healthy, and now you feel the need to treat it like a religion, and you need to spread the good word of what, Mr. Diet?
Right.
Shut the fuck up, first of all. And why people are... This will never understand. I don't understand this about anything, but why people are so mad, so pressed, so bothered by other people's bodies is fucking insane to me. Why people see a fat body and think oh my god, I should go tell them that they're fat and they're unhealthy and they should change it and how I could help them. First of all...
Except the problem with that is they don't really care. They're not telling you...
No.
You know what, I can help you. They're saying... You are not good enough.
Right.
And it bothers me to have to look at you. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing you in my world, and that's bothersome to me. As somebody who is fit and works out and whatever, looking at your fat ass makes me feel some type of way, and I don't like it. It's now making me uncomfortable, and you need to not be in my sight.
Right.
It is never, ever, ever about, I'm concerned about your health. It is never that. And if it is, you would approach it differently. You'd come up to someone and go, hey, I don't know you, but...
No. I feel like if somebody we knew, somebody we cared about, someone in our circle, our family, our village of people, if they approached us, you, me, whatever, hypothetical, and said, listen, I'm concerned. I feel like, what do you need? How can I help you? Whatever. That'd be different. If a motherfucking stranger approached you and said, I'm just concerned about your health and let me help you lose weight. No, girl, I still think that's offensive. Why are you approaching me, talking to me about my body? I don't know you, first of all. And second of all, this is inappropriate. Like, you can take your projection of, like, fat shaming and body hating elsewhere, right? But I think that anyone approaching you, unless it's somebody you know and actually fucking care about and cares about you, if it's just... Because I would be so deeply offended. Yeah. And even if an acquaintance, even someone you know but not well, walks up to you and says that shit, no, girl, fist to the throat. More so, I would just grab them by the throat. You know what I mean? And if you wouldn't do it, I'd fucking do it for you, because that shit makes me insane. I just don't understand why you have nothing else to care about. You have no other goals or dreams or responsibilities that you feel like all I do is work out and eat right and tell fat people they're fat. Like... Cool, Joe Rogan. Like, no one fucking cares, bro.
Right. And that's why no one likes you.
Oh, God. How are you going to talk shit about fat people, but your teeth are bad and you're bald? Like, go fuck yourself. Do you know what I mean?
I do. Mm-hmm. I do. I'm going to tell you that, so last week, when we were at the family's house, having our big feast of overindulgence and yumminess.
Yeah.
I find at least that portion of my family very comforting.
Okay, yeah.
Because no one, and I do mean no one, has ever said word one to me about my weight.
No.
And many of them also carry some extra weight.
Yeah.
Are curvy.
Yep.
Are fluffy, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And show nothing but love.
And here's what I'll say, too.
And so I feel the most comfortable.
Hell yeah.
Because everyone around is like, yeah, we're just people.
Yeah. Well, what I love, too, is that it is very comfortable. And at that house, too, the range of body normalcy is huge.
Yes.
From very, thin young girl to, thicker people. It is... You walk in the house and...
It's very, very... Yeah.
Yeah, every body type is
body
different.
Diverse.
And I'm into that. I'm into all types of diversity, obviously. But, that, to me, it is a comforting place to not be in an environment where somebody, where there's a group of people or somebody is outcasted because of their weight or whatever, but their weight specifically. The holidays is a really fucking ugly time for it,
Yeah.
Well, everyone else is enjoying, fat people shouldn't.
Right, exactly.
No.
It's like I last Christmas went to my husband's company Christmas dinner. Mm-hmm. And now... I can't say what anyone else's motives are.
Sure.
But as someone who has grown up fat and has grown up hearing people make snide remarks to me about being fat, especially around food. Like, if you go to a buffet, there's always someone going, oh, did you need a second plate? Oh, of course you're the first one in line to get your food. Oh, really? You're going to put that on your plate? Whatever. So I'm in line. I've had my dinner. I'm now in the little dessert line, looking at all the things going, none of these look great to me, because I'm not super picky about dessert, but if I'm going to eat it, I want it to be something that I'm excited about.
Yeah, I get that.
But I'm standing there in line, and someone at his work says to me, well, save some dessert for me. Now, again, I can't know their motive.
Innocuous, maybe.
But what it feels like to me is, listen, fatty, don't eat all the dessert, because the rest of us, other normal people, want some. Now, if that's what they meant, I don't know. But after, 50 plus years of hearing that kind of shit, that's how that goes into my head. So, whether that's what he meant or not, you need to think before you speak.
Well, and also, because think about
it. Or just don't speak. Just say, hey, did you find something you liked?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And because
what's good here?
I think about if I was in that position, I was looking at dessert and getting dessert, whatever, and that person walked up and said it to me, it'd be a very different vibe, right? It would be a very different feeling, because I'm tall, but I'm not a big body person,
right?
And so if they walked up to a thin person and said it, it'd be different. You'd feel like the motivation would be different, And I feel the same way. That's weird to me. I feel like that's why language is so important, and people need to understand that what you say has consequence and it makes people feel some type of way. And like, I think, oh my God, I don't remember what I was going to say now. No, I lost it.
Oh my God.
But language. Watch your language.
Well, it's like, even if you have no ulterior motives.
Sure. Oh, that's what.
Think about what you're going to say.
Right.
Or just don't say it. Because if you think this is going to be a funny little quip, it might not be.
This is an important thing that people need to learn for every part of your goddamn life. But in regard to other people, your intent can be whatever the fuck you want it to be.
It's that impact.
But if your impact is harmful, then who cares what your intent is? I didn't mean to be racist. I didn't mean to sound fatphobic. I didn't mean to be mean. Who cares what you meant to do, bitch? You were. It's like when people say, I'm not racist, but, or not to be an asshole, but, and then they're like, but I was an asshole. No, but you definitely fucking were. You just said not to be an asshole. No, I said not
to be an asshole, so that clears me of any kind of, responsibility.
And that information, impact means more than intent. You can take it to work, girl. I've used it on managers. Like, I don't care what you meant to do. This is what you did, right?
Right.
And about race, about gender, about any sort of marginalization, I mean, think about it. Who cares what you intend to do? If you're harming people, you're harming people. And that's ugly.
Yeah.
And you know what? God don't like ugly.
Well, and the other thing is, because you don't know someone's journey,
right?
You don't know what you're going to say that could be triggering.
Yeah.
So just don't say it.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a food joke, don't.
Just don't.
You know, unless it's about yourself, have at it. But if you're going, because I know, like talking to the other, I'm going to say specifically the other women in my family, growing up with men that they're, you know, fathers, uncles, cousins, whoever, who would like come up to them and poke them in the side and be like, oh, you're getting a little thick there. Oh, you're going to have that second help. Whatever they said to make them super self-conscious about their weight, about their body, that they weren't good enough. So you come up to a person who's maybe not even fat. And I've had so many people tell me, I didn't know that I wasn't fat as a child. I look back at pictures now and I go, what the hell, I wasn't even fat. But because somebody said to you, getting a little thick there, you might want to slow down on those mashed potatoes. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever you thought was clever, what you did is you put some hate speech into someone's head that they're never going to forget.
They internalize that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That became a huge part of them.
Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, and I feel the same way because, you know, I was like a chunky kid. I was like a thicky little fat kid. But, like, when I look back now, or when I think about it now, it is very different. But people still said shit, right?
Yeah.
So, and I knew, like, I grew out of it. It was mostly, like, baby fat or whatever, you know? And I grew out of it, quote, unquote, whatever. But I do still remember, and still looking back, even now, that's just, like, body dysmorphia. But there are times now when I think, like, oh, I've gained, you know, just my head. Fleeting moments, because that's conditioning, right? It's like, I feel like I'm too fat, I feel like I'm too thick, I feel like I'm whatever. But that's what you're conditioned to think. And then the next thing I think is like, that's stupid and bullshit. And that's what I've relearned, right? And like, but you can't help random things. So I just let it happen. I just let me feel that type of thing. And then I think, that's silly. But it does really stem from like those years as a youth when I was a chunky kid and people would say shit. Because I haven't been a chunky kid in a long ass time.
No, it has been a long, long time.
Yeah.
And yes, you were.
Yeah, but like, and so even just those moments for me, like I know that sticks with me and I still think about it today, which is bonkers because again, it wasn't like I dealt with it for decades.
But you were also the second cutest baby ever.
You mean what you meant to say was you were the second cutest baby to me in all of history.
I meant to say to you, you were the second cutest.
Yeah, you're right. I meant to say, but what you meant to say is, Annika, you're the first cutest baby, and I messed up.
You're the first runner-up to cutest baby.
No, senile grandma, listen to me.
No.
What you said was, Annika, you were the cutest baby, and I was an ugly hag of a baby.
Wow. Wow. I was the cutest baby.
Absolutely not.
I was also probably the biggest baby because I looked like I could have just walked out of my mother. I was, 2 feet tall and almost 11 pounds. So.
Okay, I was almost 11 pounds too. So now we're competing for everything. I was 2
the
feet
fattest baby. Oh, good Lord.
But anyway, so back to me being the cutest baby.
We'll just go on to our actual topic.
Oh my God.
Food! Food, glorious food. So I found I looked up some kind of interesting things. So, What do you think the number one food in the world is?
The number one food in the world. I want to think that it's something like corn or rice or like a bean.
No, I don't mean it like an ingredient. But like a number one, like finished meal, food.
Pizza.
That is exactly correct.
Wait, really?
Pizza is the number one food in the world. Now, what's interesting to me is pizza here is nothing like pizza in most of the rest of the world.
Right.
And because pizza in most other places is dough,
right,
tomatoes, cheese, basil, and, whatever. And that's about it. You might throw in a little oregano, a little whatever, but it isn't like pineapple and ham and, olives and things. And it's like...
No. Well, and you want to know something interesting is pizza, I don't know why I know all this, but pizza has changed quite a bit because tomatoes are like a new world fruit or vegetable.
They're fruit.
Yeah. They're a new world. So they're from North America.
Oh.
And so the Middle East, Italy, they didn't really use tomatoes in their shit until after the New World explorations.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Interesting. So they weren't traditionally using tomato.
Well, because most places where they make pizza, it doesn't have tomato sauce on it.
Right.
It has olive oil brushed on it. And then different things.
And
by the way, oh my God, so good. I could eat the shit about it.
I'm not I know we're not talking about what we don't like, but when it comes to pizza, I'm not a fan of red sauce. I'm not a fan of marinara red sauce on pasta, pizza, breadsticks, not a fan. So I just ordered pizza the other night. I usually order pizza without sauce at all. Because I don't want it. It's just a lot more. So usually it's just like cream. No. It's usually like cheese and whatever topping. So it does have like kind of like an oily feel, but it's not like a heavier sauce. But yeah, I think that a lot of times tomato sauce is just too overpowering, and then it's like all you fucking taste.
I once I went somewhere where they served pizza where it was just an olive oil base on it, where they literally just brushed it with olive oil and then put different cheeses and whatever else.
Yeah.
But very minimal.
It's delightful.
Oh my God. It changed my pizza eating world because I was like, oh, this is what pizza should be.
Yep. Well, and it's, have you ever had like deep dish pizza, like actual deep dish?
Yeah.
Where like the sauce is on top and it goes, and like, that to me was bonkers, and people love it, and I think it's fine. You know what I mean?
It's too much.
I think it's too much, girl. It's like 6 inches deep.
You're eating a loaf of bread with some stuff in it. It's too much.
And it's doused in red sauce, and I think...
Well, it also, for me, it's just like I can eat a piece of that pizza, because it is so much bread.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I would prefer to have less bread and more of the yummy things.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love bread, so if you give me like a pan pizza, bitch, oof, honey. Yep, anyway.
Yeah, so...
What's next? What else do you have written down over there?
Well, I have the top 10 countries with the tastiest food. Oh. They were voted, by whomever, whoever the polls are on the interwebs, the tastiest.
Jesus and his apostles voted.
They did. Jesus and his apostles and all of their friends and the Kardashians.
Oh my God.
That's who voted.
Weird.
I know.
Oh, weird. So, what a time.
All right, so who do you think is on this list? There's the top
tastiest.
10 tastiest foods for different countries.
I'm going to say there's going to be like a Mediterranean country, so it's either going to be like Greece or Italy, maybe both. Maybe.
Okay, yep, they're both on there.
Okay.
And I'll give you the order once you're done guessing.
Okay. Tastiest food. Oh, maybe, okay, so is France on there?
Yep.
Okay. Japan?
No.
No. Okay, what about like, España?
Sí.
Okay. Mexico?
Sí.
Okay. Brazil? No.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man,
You're killing it!
I know, I've only guessed one wrong. I don't know what else. Are there other places? No,
those are the only countries in the world.
How many more do I have left?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Germany? No.
No.
I know.
Sorry, Germany, but you're mostly greasy, sausagey, bready food.
Honestly.
And again, bread. Love bread. But...
Okay, is there like a Northern Africa? So like a Tunisia or Morocco or an Egypt?
No, none of those made the tastiest food.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's okay, I'll just tell you the rest.
Yeah, tell me the rest.
Alright, so I'm going to go from 1 to 10.
Okay.
So 1, Italy. Not surprising.
Duh.
Italian food.
Yummy.
Yes, please. All day.
All day.
2, Mexico.
Duh.
Again.
All day.
Give me real Mexican food.
All
I'm
day.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever try to take me to Taco Bell, because I'm sure everybody is like, whatever, you have your own things. I don't like it because it's American greasy spoon. Well,
Here's what I'm going to say. Well, before we continue. Mexican food, lots of people who, like, I've lived in California, or people who lived in California hate Mexican food outside of California.
Right.
Like, don't like it.
Because it's not.
Right, and they don't like Mexican food in Oregon. Like, I have a friend who just moved from LA and hates it here because of not Oregon, but, like, hates the Mexican food. And it's like, there are decent places.
There are, and there are some, like, of the little carts.
Yeah.
That have real, like, the ones that say they have street tacos.
Yeah.
Because it's what a taco, but, you know, the place that was by our old house, La Serenita.
Yeah.
Good, real Mexican food.
I want to go to a place that's a Mexican restaurant ran by Mexican people. Like, that's what I want, bitch.
Yeah, Alicia and I have been going to one for like a month or two now, called La Tapatia.
Okay.
Tapatio.
Where is that?
It's on 82nd and like Divige.
Cool.
But it's Mexican owned. All the people that work there are Mexican.
Love it.
So, and it's tasty and
Yeah.
So that number 3 was Spain.
Okay.
Number 4, Greece. So you guessed all of
maybe.
those. Number 5. Now this won't surprise you. Thailand.
Oh,
Because Thai food, scrummy.
Delightful.
Love it.
Yes,
Love Thai
ma'am.
food. Number 6, France.
Okay, that makes sense. Just
Number
'cause,
7,
like...
Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkish food.
It's also
yum.
Mediterranean.
Yeah. Number 8, also love India.
Bitch, why did I not think of India?
I don't know.
What is wrong
Number
with me?
9 is Brazil, which you said, and
Okay.
number 10 was Portugal.
Interesting. I guess I could have guessed that, but whatever.
Well, but it's also all right, kind of in the same area, so their foods are probably very similar.
Very similar. But I knew Mediterranean because my favorite... I know like the healthiest diets, just like regular healthy for what they have near them, are like Mediterranean diets are very healthy for what they have.
Well, that's funny because my next list is the healthiest.
Okay, so it's like Japan, and then it's going to be like every Mediterranean country.
So Japan is number 1.
Right, I figured.
Yeah. So Japan is number 1.
Okay.
Spain.
Oh, okay.
Israel.
Okay, yep.
India. Iceland.
What?
Yeah. Vietnam. Well, I think in Iceland all they eat is ice. It's very healthy. Vietnam.
Okay.
Sweden.
Okay.
Chad.
Wow.
France.
Whoa.
Now, France surprised me being on the healthiest list because you think about French food, you think butters and creams and sauces and stuff.
France, because we're not European people like that. France, there's like northern France and southern France.
Okay.
Southern France is on the Mediterranean.
Ah.
Right.
Okay.
That's why it confused me too, girl.
And number 10, Thailand.
Weird. So like, literally, I assumed it would be Mediterranean food. That's crazy to me. Huh.
Yeah. Unhealthiest
The United States.
is the United States of America.
Bitch, hands down. No tea, no shade. The boots, bitch. Kill it.
No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade.
Mm-hmm. The United States is such like... Here, I know we're not talking about this, but it is funny to me that the United States is like, why are number 1? But like, at what? You're not number 1 at literally anything, and you've just stolen people's like everything, but cuisine, and turned it into some bastardized version and call it, this is Mexican food.
Right?
No, it isn't.
Well, what's funny to me is the unhealthiest foods. There's also, I have the top 5 unhealthiest foods to eat. And
They're probably all my favorite.
Well, no, as a matter of fact. I know that some of them are not your favorites. Because the number 1... What do you think the number 1 unhealthiest food might be?
Like actual food, or can it be beverage?
Actual food. Well, no, yes, it can be beverage also.
Alcohol, beer.
No.
Oh.
No, because they say that some alcohol
Yeah.
has some okay properties.
Okay, number 1 unhealthiest food.
Yeah. Think of really processed food.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Damn.
Number 1 unhealthiest food in the world.
Shit, okay.
Number 2, and this one surprised me, pretzels.
Wow, I love
I
pretzels.
do too. Why
are they so
But I
unhealthy?
like big,
Because
soft, hot, doughy. With I
cheese.
prefer them with. I prefer to get them with salt, but then I wipe most of the salt off because then they've got salty taste, but you're not like eating a salt lick.
Yeah.
Number 3, diet soda. I know, and I'm all. I just bought 27 more cases to get me through the week.
Yeah, I don't ever drink diet soda.
Processed pastries. Now you know that just means Hostess.
Oh,
that's like
gross.
Twinkies and Ding Dongs and Ho Hos.
Let me tell you something. I, even as a youngin', hated that shit. I hated Twinkies. I hated all like that fake crumbly frosting on top of like all of
the
them.
little Debbie cakes. And
but I liked like brownies or like Rice Krispie treats and shit. But I did not like any of those soft dough. And I love pastries.
In the early 90s.
Yeah.
Specifically when I was Empress, so 1990, 91, when the fat-free craze was just taking over the world, and they were trying to make everything fat-free, which just meant it was higher in sugar. Mm-hmm. You know, I took a little road trip to Idaho to go to Coronation, to Boise, and I had bought, for the road trip, a box of fat-free Twinkies. Okay. Because I'm like, a treat, they're fat-free, I can eat all the whole box, and I'll be fine.
And it's fine.
Yeah, it's not how that works, but that's okay. And so... whatever. Idaho in the summer is like Satan's armpit. It is hot as shit. It is awful. Well, one day while I was there, I was like, "Oh yes, I forgot I have my Twinkies in the car." Went to go get one of these Twinkies out of the car. Girl, when I bit into it, it exploded. It splooged all over my face. I was like, "Am I in a porno right now?"
I'm fucking dead.
I mean, it literally just like...
Oh my god, and you were in the car?
Yeah.
And so you had to walk out with, like, bitch, you don't know how to eat food, girl?
Luckily, I always have things in the car too. Like napkins,
smashing your face into Twinkies.
Drag towels, whatever.
Damn, you're doing it wrong.
I'm great. I had to wipe it off and, like, throw it at somebody else. It was gross.
Oh,
It really was like a cheap porn.
I would have cried because you know how much I hate being sticky.
And especially when it splooges in your eye.
Oh my god. What a
But
nightmare.
It was so gross and hilarious all at the same time.
Was it hot too?
Yes.
Ew, and your face was just like 3rd-degree burns with fucking Twinkie jizz. I hate it.
So, number 5, and this is the one that cracks me up. Number 5 on the list is fluorescent orange snacks. What could that be? I mean, really, I can only think of one fluorescent orange snack.
Fluorescent orange, what are you thinking of?
Cheetos.
Oh.
What else would that be?
I went immediately to candy. I didn't think of chips. Yeah,
no, I thought right immediately of the Cheetos.
Oh.
Which, by the way, food probably shouldn't be that color.
That's okay. They taste good.
And then you eat it and your hands are that color, and then it's like, what do you do with that?
You eat them with chopsticks. That's how you do it.
Or gloves.
Yes, right? It's smart, girl.
Right. Or you have someone feed you. No?
I don't know. I don't like that.
Just the look on your face. No.
I don't like
gross.
That's good. Okay, but let me tell you something. This has to do with food. I was often in my house, just for like background noise, like Gordon Ramsay will be on, like, Kitchens from Hell, what the fuck ever.
Right.
And there was one, what is it called, where it's like really shitty restaurants and he goes and like fixes them and helps them, whatever.
Oh, isn't it like
Kitchen
Hell's
Nightmares?
Kitchen?
Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares. Anyway,
something like that.
So
I don't know, there's so many.
Right. There's this one where he's at a soul food restaurant, and so it's black folk predominantly. And the waitress kept saying, like, bitch, I don't know, I don't eat this food. She's like, I don't like this food, this food's gross. And he kept saying, okay, well, bring me one of everything, because he tries it all, right? He's eating something, and then he calls the waitress over, and she's like, yep. And he was like, sit down for a second. And he had her sit down, and now he's like, close your eyes. And I was like, Gordon Ramsay, what are you gonna do?
What are you up to?
And he, like, feeds her something with her eyes closed, and then takes his napkin and wipes her mouth off. And I said, this is the most intimate thing I think I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And I think Gordon Ramsay looks like a rock monster of a person. But that whole movement where he's feeding that woman and dabbing her mouth with a napkin, I said, okay, that's hot. But Gordon Ramsay, you scare me. You just scream and scowl.
I have to ask, though, what was the point of him feeding her a bite of food?
I don't know. Why he couldn't just be like, take a bite of this, or try this, or whatever.
But was he feeding her because it was good, or
no,
because it was
bad. He wanted her to, like,
she already said she didn't eat any of it.
But I was like, bitch, the fuck? And
I'm going to feed you this bite of food, and so you know it's bad.
When you rewatch that tape, when you roll the tapes back, bitch, you're going to be like, are we married? Like, I'm pretty sure we're
are we in a relationship now?
And it is. I mean,
that is very intimate.
Yeah, to me, he's just like a, like, angry bulldog.
Yeah.
But then, he's very, like, gentle and sweet, and I'm like, this dichotomy is, like, giving me fucking whiplash, my bro. Like,
right.
But I was like, oh my god, that's super intimate. This scary looking man just, like, did the sweetest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. But it was very interesting.
Yeah, that's odd.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watch a lot of the cooking shows. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, because I don't cook very much. I cook, like, the simplest things because I just don't have that skill level, and I've never even tried to improve very much on that. I have, like I mentioned last week, learned I've learned how to bake and whatever.
You made kind of adventurous things, though, girl. You made palak paneer. You made paneer.
I did make paneer.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
It was so good.
I know. But that's the most adventurous thing I've probably ever made, I would think. I don't know, though. But I watch all these shows, and then, of course, I'm just hungry. Because I'm all, I want that. Whatever it is they're making. Or I watch it and go, like chopped. When they're like, you need to make a dish of,
whatever.
Liver and some dog treats and an old shoe.
And your grandmother's toenails. And they're like,
right, and they're like, okay, we'll have to rehydrate grandma's toenails. We'll soak those in a good wine for a couple
crunch.
It's like, ah. But it's always stuff that I'm like, I don't want to even be a judge on that show, because when you say to me, all right, this was made out of, whatever, I'm like, no.
Inside of the nostril of a cow. And you're like, but why?
Well, and I can't even tell you the number of times they've had like brain or tongue or whatever, and I'm all
like it.
No. Or what is it called? There's a soup, a very popular Mexican soup that
is it lining the stomach.
No, it's brain.
No,
and something I'm all no.
Cabeza.
No.
No me gusta. I don't
no
like
me gusta.
No, icky.
And so I'm like going, no thanks.
And here's the thing. I try not to be grossed out by people's foods, because a lot of times it's a cultural difference.
Sure.
And I'm not trying to be like, ew, your culture is just icky. Ugh, I don't like it. But there are some things that I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I just know in myself I probably couldn't or wouldn't or want to eat. And here's the thing, I'll try it. But if, my big issue is the texture.
Yes.
My big issue is that chewy, scallopy squid texture that I'm like, hate it. So I would try anything.
So dinner tomorrow night's going to be a bowl of erasers, so that I've just poured gravy over.
Yum. It's that I steeped in hot dog water and then poured boxed gravy right over.
Right.
It's delightful. Here's your flaked mashed potatoes.
Oh,
I just
God.
added lukewarm water. And a pat of margarine.
Ew. So everything about that is ew.
Delightful, yummy.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Delightful. No. So I have one more list.
Okay.
I mean, we have more to talk about, but I have one more list.
Yeah. What is it?
It is the most hated foods in the world.
Is it like a complete food again?
Some, I guess. Some of it is ingredients.
What about like eggs?
No,
hate it?
not on the list.
Weird. Okay, I'm gonna just go with things I hate, like beets.
Beets are number one, by the way. The number one most hated food in the world.
I'm obsessed.
And I'm like, yes, indeed.
What about radishes? Are they on there?
They're not on there.
Okay, I don't know what else.
Well, what's funny to me, there's some things on here I'm like, really? So, number one, beets.
Yeah.
And we talked about that last week.
Sweet dirt, girl.
Dirt.
I don't like it.
No. And there's not a way in the world you can make them that's going to make me eat them.
No.
So when I see them like on a salad bar, which aren't salad bars kind of a thing of the past now since COVID?
I would assume, but I don't know things.
No,
anyway. But there are still buffets. There are still, and they're active again. So.
No, thank you.
I don't know why people did it to begin with.
Yeah. Number two is olives. And that surprised me.
But like,
because they're
Kalamata olives or black olives or.
Well, but there's olives in like Mediterranean food is so much olives.
Yeah.
They're all over the world. But I don't know.
Huh.
Number three, and this one I understand because this is that two camp. You love it or you hate it. Is cilantro. I love cilantro.
It's weird to me that people hate it, but people think. But there's something. It's not people think. There is like a different taste.
Makes it taste like soap.
Soap, yeah, grody.
Number four, mushrooms.
I get that.
Yeah,
I used to fucking hate mushrooms.
I love them.
There are times now that I don't like them. What actually changed my mind was deep fried mushrooms, and then I was like, "Oh, this flavor is delightful."
That can't be bad.
And then I've liked mushrooms ever since.
But then again, a deep fried boot would probably be good.
Yeah,
girl. Deep fry it.
Oh, you have a deep fried rat? I'll probably try it.
I'll give it a shot. When I was in Vegas the last time, which has been quite a while now, we went to this casino where they have this little food booth thing that everything is deep fried, and it's like deep fried Oreos, deep fried Twinkies, deep fried butter, fried whatever. And what I wanted to try was a deep fried Twinkie, and deep fried butter, and they were out of both because it was later in the evening, and they were like, "Yeah, we're almost done for the day, so we have what we have." And so it was a deep fried Oreo, I think is what I had, and I was all, meh. I mean, it's battered and fried, The batter was good.
Yeah, I just like Oreos.
The oil was good.
But Oreos are icky.
Yeah. Number 6, I've not had it, but I've seen it on many cooking shows, which is durian. It's a fruit
that stinks like death.
That smells like death. It smells like something rotted and died.
I've never had it either.
I don't think I could get past the smell, and they say that it's quite delicious.
Yeah. But the smell.
But you have to get past, and plus the texture looks disgusting.
Yeah,
because when you take it apart, it looks kind of like a brain, and it's like, no thanks.
Why? And it's weird to me that people ended up eating it. You know what I mean? Like, this smells like rotting death. But
I'm going to eat it because I'm so adventurous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to put anything in my mouth that smells bad.
No, ma'am.
Other than, I do love stinky cheese, which we talked about last week.
That's different. She's different.
Bitter gourd. I don't know. I don't know which gourds that would be. Eggplant.
I like eggplant.
Eggplant's kind of boring to me. It's kind of innocuous.
But when I was a vegetarian for a long time, I would go to, like, you know, if you went to an event and they had their vegetarian option, often it was like eggplant parmesan, you know.
Yeah, of course. Number 9, and this just shouldn't be produced. Circus peanuts.
Ugh.
That is a candy that's right for me, right up there with candy corn
Icky poo-poo.
and Peeps.
It's gross. Yeah.
You know, just put them all in a landfill and never make them again.
Yeah.
And number 10, bologna. Now, bologna for me is kind of up there with hot dogs. With it's just a bunch of processed shit kind of slapped together in a mold, and here's a piece of meat.
Don't like
and it's like, I will only eat bologna if it's like 100% turkey.
Oh, okay.
Because then at least I know what's in it.
I mean,
of course, it could be turkey feet and eyeballs. Sure. I don't know, but it says it's 100% turkey.
You. Well, and here's the thing: is like how often do I fucking eat bologna? Literally never.
Never. I don't think I can't even remember when the last time was I had it. But when I was a kid, when I was a young warthog, when I was in high school, I would go over to my friend's house, and my friend loved her family. Well, other than her dad, he was a piece of garbage, but she and her mom and her sister were I became very close to, but PWT. But I love them.
Right, I get that.
Her mom one day was like, are you staying for dinner? And I was like, sure. Yeah, you ask a fat kid to dinner, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, no, I hate it.
What are we making for dinner? And she's like, I'm making bologna boats. And I'm like, what the actual hell is a bologna boat?
Yeah, I have no idea.
She took a slice of bologna and put it on a cookie sheet. Put a dollop of mashed potatoes, I think leftover from last night's dinner. And then in the center of that made a little well and put an egg in it and then seasoned it and whatever and then baked it. Well, the bologna, as it cooks, curls up around the potatoes. It was something. It was.
So what does the egg become? Just like a fried egg?
Kind of. I mean, I think it's more like the texture of a poached egg when you bake it.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but I just remember being fascinated that.
And horrified.
I'd never heard of this particular thing.
When was this? The 70s?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So 1977, probably.
Totally.
I was probably a freshman or sophomore in high school. Yeah.
And you said, I regret staying for dinner. And guess what? I'll never say that, but I hate it here.
But they also lived too far that I couldn't just walk home because they lived miles out in the country, out in Yamhill and whatever. But it was all bologna boats. And fat kid, I'm going to say, well, it's food. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
There was almost nothing that I didn't try because I was like, food.
Yeah, girl, I like it.
And then every once in a while, it's like, oh, God, no, never. No. But there were the things like liver that just the smell of it's like, nope.
Can't.
I mean, I had to eat it occasionally, but it was like, ugh.
Well, I felt that way when my biological mother's aunt, who lived in a little tiny town in Washington, we would go and she would make homemade roquefort dressings, blue cheese was delightful. But she also would make gizzards, which I was like,
no.
What? But I ate them, and guess what? I was like, these are delicious. I was about it. I said, you just fried up some fucking random part of a chicken?
Yeah. And you're like, what even is this?
I don't think she knew, but it was delightful, girl.
Yeah. But I remember, though, when I was a kid and my mother would make chicken, because she would, it wasn't like it is now where you can just buy chicken breasts, or you could just buy, it all cut. Mostly you bought whole chickens and you cut it yourself. Right. And inside that chicken was always the bag of giblets. Yeah. So it was the different parts and pieces and whatever, and she would cook them up and eat livers, different things. Ugh. And I was always like, no thanks, I'll pass.
What are these, chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets weren't invented
yet. Know. But you could have just invented
I could have. I mean, think how rich I'd be, and no kid would ever want to eat those.
No. That's icky. Okay, so here's one thing about my food. I know we're almost done. We have like 10 minutes.
We're good. We're good about 10 minutes left.
One of my favorite things about food is I'm a total beverage girl. I like have my currently I just have my water and my coffee, but there are times when I have like a water, a coffee, like a smoothie, and then something that replenishes my electrolytes. Like I just have beverages.
Right.
On road trips, you get snacks for road trips. I get like a snack and then like 27 beverages, and I said, okay, I'm ready. Like I don't know what it is, but I really at work half the time I have 3 beverages. I don't know. I'm just a really lot to stay hydrated.
I do like my beverages, but I'm a one at a time beverage kind of girl.
No,
I mean, as you know, I just finished my little coffee that I got from Starbucks because one of the things that I've been doing kind of randomly is before I take my kids to school on Wednesday, go through Starbucks, get drinks for both of us, and then we do our pod, whatever. And I always get the same drink. I mean, today I decided to, because 'tis the season.
What'd you get, peppermint mocha?
I got peppermint mocha, girl. I said, could I get a decaf peppermint mocha? And the girl was like, sure, of course.
No, not you.
Well, it was funny when I ordered your drink, which is 47 characters. I mean, is the longest thing. The girl, it was so funny. I swear to you, she said, I'm sorry, I stopped listening after the first 7 words. I was like, I don't blame you, girl. I don't think that's really what I think she just said I didn't hear after that point. But I swear it was that she's just like, I stopped listening.
Listen, it's not that complicated.
Isn't it, though?
It's an ice brown sugar. It's an ice brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso with a quad shot and 2 pumps white mocha. That's not that hard.
Oh, wait. And I'm sorry, what kind of shots?
Oh, and they have to be signature, so just not blonde shots. So then it would be a grande iced, quad brown sugar, oat milk espresso with signature shots and not blonde and 2 pumps white mocha.
Right.
Listen.
And my drink was a decaf peppermint mocha.
Yeah, okay. Listen, okay.
So 3 words. Decaf peppermint mocha.
Listen.
Oh, venti. So 4 words.
So it'd be, how I'm going to equate it is you as like a hairdresser. You're not going to go into like the Cosmoprof, the beauty supply store and be like, ow, what do I want? I don't have my favorite things here. I don't know what I like. No. You're going to go into any beauty supply and be like, I like this product. I like this product. And I'm going to walk into a Starbucks and be like, give me my motherfucking drink. And if you don't have what I need, I'm going to talk to your manager. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh. She's carrying out on the place.
And just like,
I need oat milk!
I know. Well, I told you, my friend brought me coffee the other day, and they're like, they didn't have oat milk, so I got coconut. And I said, it's fine. And I said, it doesn't taste right. Take my $17 coffee back, please.
I thought it was mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
By the way, since that time, I've eaten, what was it she was eating? Remind me? Polenta.
Yeah.
And I've had polenta several times since that. So what we're talking about, this is an episode of, what was the show?
Fabulous Anna Nicole.
Was it just called Anna Nicole?
I don't know. You're so outrageous. I don't know. The Anna Nicole show?
The Anna Nicole show.
The Anna Nicole Smith show.
Her reality show.
Which was amazing.
But, it was Kathy Griffin talking about being on a show with Anna Nicole. And they were then in the commissary eating between filming. And she took a big bite of polenta and was like, I don't like it. I thought it was mashed potatoes. And it was just so funny because I'm sorry, polenta doesn't look like mashed potatoes. It's not even the same color.
Look, you know what? I know she was a little ditzy Playboy bunny, but I fucking loved Anna Nicole Smith.
So I'm going to tell you a little story, which I know I've told you before, but I was at this pageant that I was the host for. By the way, it was the freakiest, weirdest pageant I've ever been any part of. But I was the host, me and Poison Waters.
Okay.
And I'm in the green room with all the kids who are in the pageant getting ready, and Anna Nicole's court case was happening then with her then late husband Howard Marshall, and I think that was his name. Who cares? He's a dead old white man. Old dead gazillionaire, and how these children were all horrified that this 20-something-year-old married this 150-year-old man for his money, and I'm like, well, why else would she have married him? And by the way, he didn't get to be a gazillionaire by being stupid.
No.
He knew that beautiful young white girl married him for his money.
Yeah.
No matter how much she said, I love you and you're whatever, He not dumb. I mean, and maybe she did love him.
Mm-hmm.
But
we all know that love doesn't come in one way.
No. But when I said, good for her, she got her, well, she ended up not getting hers because of all the whatever nonsense. She didn't get a prenup. Stupid. She should have said, I will marry you, but you have to put me in the will, dude. These children were horrified that I said that. I'm like, are you dumb? Because he got his, she got hers. What's the problem? This is a consensual adult situation.
Yeah.
She was a grown-ass woman who wanted things in life, including, plastic surgery and fame and fortune, and she got all of those things. Unfortunately, some of it came at a price that was not great. But there was a two-party system.
She didn't take advantage of him.
No,
he had people. You know what I mean? Like, let's not be fucking stupid. She didn't come through and mastermind this whole fucking situation.
Oh, I'm gonna just say from what I've seen of Anna Nicole, she didn't mastermind really anything.
No,
because she was not the brightest of girls. But I still loved her.
I know.
I thought she was beautiful and funny and smart. And then, unfortunately, had some demons to deal with.
Of course.
And a lot of those apparently were food-related because her weight also fluctuated a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway. But anyhow. But that's not even what we're talking about. But still, Anna Nicole. And tangents are topics. So.
God rest your soul, baby.
It was funny.
Spa, baby.
We were in the car on the way to school this morning. And I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by the Jackson 5 came on. And I said to the kids, I go, little tiny little baby Michael Jackson singing. And my son said, I wish he was still alive. And then he did what I always do. He crossed himself and said, God rest his soul. What's funny is we're not religious people.
No,
and I've never been Catholic.
Girl, I love that.
But I will just randomly cross myself and go, God rest his soul.
Yeah. I want you to know something about that song, Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I, not until a year ago, realized that Santa Claus was just Dad dressed up. I thought it was just some other man this whole time.
I always just assumed it was Santa Claus. What do you say?
This whole time, though, I genuinely thought that I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I didn't realize it was the parents. And I assumed it was literally some other man that this child saw his mother whoring around with, and he had to go tell his dad. And I was like, what a song. And then literally 2 years ago, I found out, I just realized, someone said, you...
Okay, I was today years old when I learned that, because I've literally always in my brain just thought it was Santa Claus.
No, right?
I just thought it was really Santa Claus came to our house. And for any of you who are like, bitch, please. Santa Claus... the song in my mind, in my suspension of disbelief, Santa Claus came down the chimney and, Mama gave him a little kiss. Oh, you're so sweet, Santa Claus. Thanks for giving my kids presents. Now get the fuck out.
Underneath the mistletoe, though, bitch?
Well, where else are you going to kiss him? The mistletoe was there. You got to kiss him. It's the law, right? I mean, it is the law of Christmas. Mistletoe.
I like that we're both just so stupid.
Well, that's your interpretation. I'm going to go with it was really Santa Claus. Daddy was upstairs sleeping. Because Mom was doing all the Christmas work, always putting the things together. So
by Christmas work, she's whoring it up with Santa.
Now,
how is Mrs. Claus going to feel about that?
I met Mrs. Claus, Yeah. And we had a long chat, she and I.
And she said, my husband can do what he wants.
Once a year, he goes out, he does his thing. I don't care. He's home 364 days out of the year. That one night, I get a break. He can do whatever he likes. She don't care. She old, too. She don't care.
You were ruining that.
What is your point? So when I was in my early 20s, I was 19 when I moved to Portland, there was a shop downtown that's long gone that I used to love that had just all kinds of cool stuff. I think it was called Jelly Bean.
Okay.
And they had cool cards, lots of queer stuff. One of the things they had was this line of queer greeting cards that I loved. And there was my favorite, which I bought and never sent to anybody, was a Christmas card that had these two kind of hunky men. One was Santa Claus and one was just some hunky muscle man kissing each other, and it said, I saw Daddy kissing Santa Claus.
Oh my God.
And I'm all hot.
Scandalous.
Fucking hot.
Some centuries
and
old.
And probably somewhere I still have it in a box somewhere.
I love it.
Because I was like, that's hot.
Some thick centuries old grandpa man kissing some hunky dude.
No, Santa was hot too.
I'm leaving.
I mean, come on. It was 80s queer art.
I'm gonna pray.
Santa was hot. The daddy was hot. Everybody was hot.
Dear Jesus. In this holiday season, please grant
Not in
her.
this economy.
I know.
So, this is probably the first time probably a couple times. We're going to tell you that next week, we're going to be talking about reality TV. Yeah, and kind of how it has changed over the years and how, whatever we watch and what we're addicted to, what we like, what we hate, whatever. So that is next week. But as for this week, we're done. We hope that you listen to this and now you're super hungry and you're going to go get some food.
Hungry.
You hungry? Were you hungry?
You hungry?
Are you a hungry hippo?
Excuse me.
You heard me.
A little bit.
So if you, like my husband, whose letter we read earlier, want to write into the show, write in at itwouldseemasThough@gmail.com. We will read your letter on the air, or we won't if it's not interesting.
Or we won't.
We'll be like, ugh, really? Write us and let us know what you're thinking. And if you want us to talk about anything in particular, or you just want to send us a message, do that. We are here every week, and we've been here, as I mentioned at the top of the show, almost a year now.
Almost a goddamn year.
Yeah, we have 6 more episodes until we hit 1 year.
Who knew?
I know.
Who knew, girl?
Crazy.
Who knew I'd still like you this far in?
I know.
Crazy.
That puts you in a very rarefied group.
I know, because I don't like most people more than 5 fucking minutes.
But that's all.
So
we're going to tap out and go do real life things.
Yeah, we'll be grown-ups or whatever.
Grown-ups.
Yeah. All right, it's been real.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye, bitch.
Bye.
It would seem as though.